Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Tabby Loves. I'm Tabitha and I talk to you about the things that I love. Today we are going to be doing June's edition of Exploring Smut. This month we are going to be reading The Empress by Kristin Cast. This one I admittedly picked because of the cover. And my Kindle doesn't do it justice because it's in black and white. But the cover is gorgeous. And little backstory. I actually saw the second book in this series. I think it's a series of interconnected standalones. You know how romances like to do those. And so I saw the sequel, not knowing it was the sequel. And it had like these strawberry sprayed edges, super cute. But I saw it was on Kindle Unlimited, and then I saw it was a book too, so I was like, you know what, let's read book one. And I wasn't 100% sure if this was, like, would be able to count for this segment. But I looked at the Amazon reviews just slightly. I didn't read very much of them, because I like to go in uninfluenced. But I did see someone say that it was 3 out of 5 chili peppers, so there is indeed spice in this. 3 is a pretty high end of the scale, so we will see. We will be the judge of that. It's about just under 400 pages. It's like 399 pages. So it's a little bit longer than I usually like to do for these segments, but if it's good, it won't matter. So anyway, let's get into it. Says, Towerfall has beckoned. This spread is not just a tool for divination, but it is a portal to building your happily ever after. You are setting out on a great journey. Your cards will break down where you're starting, what your motivation is, your trials, and the ultimate manifestation of your happily ever after. And then it says tips and tricks, and then it goes into the cards. Cards 1, 2, and 3 are your past. Cards 4 and 5 are your present. Cards 6 and 7 are your catalysts. Cards 8 and 9 is the journey begins. Cards 10 and 11 is the dark night of the soul. Cards 12 and 13 are the heroes, the growth you've experienced and the energy you've ushered. And card 14 is your happily ever after. Let's do it. Let's do this. Okay, so this book, like this, the 2 books that I've seen in this series, and I think there's 3 total, they're based off of tarot cards. And what's kind of fun is at the very beginning, this book has a tarot card spread and like instructions for how to use the spread yourself. Should we do a tarot reading using this spread before I start the book? Would that be fun? Well, I don't know. I kind of want to try it. Let's do it. Let's do it. past is cards 1, 2, and 3, which is Seven of Wands, Queen of Swords, and Judgment. Seven of Wands is overcoming an adversary. I know how to speak. Queen of Swords is just a, like, logic-based, no-nonsense woman, which I guess is supposed to be me. That's who my past self has been. Hey, stop it. You're crushing them. I don't know why he wants to be on this mat so bad. He's just like this. Stop. Troublemakers, all of them. And then Judgment, pretty straightforward, reaping what you sow, karmic influences, that kind of thing. What that means for my origin story, I don't necessarily know, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sure I can figure that out. And then for the present, the cards that represent my current self, I got the Lovers and the Chariot. And I know the Lovers, I am in a happy relationship with my boyfriend. That is a big part of my life because he helps pay my bills and all of that stuff. Not like literally, like us being able to split stuff in half is very convenient for me. The Chariot, I don't know what that one's doing there. Also means triumph over difficulties, strength of will needed, which, again, financially, I feel. The Catalyst card, 6 and 7, is my hopes, dreams, and expectations for the future, and I got the Emperor and the Fool. Now, I think the Fool may be represented like hope, dreams in the future, because I want to go down a new path. That's the easiest way for me to interpret that one. But the Emperor, ambition, authority, financial stability, achievement, I guess that's all things I also wish to accomplish. Especially because I do want to become an author, and that's an entirely new route for me to go down. And I hope to achieve in that, and reach financial stability through that. That would be nice. Up next, cards 8 and 9 is the journey begin. Turn to your guides for advice to take actions on the first steps of your journey. So cards 8, I got the Hermit. And card 9, I got the Empress. Again, both the Emperor and the Empress is interesting. I'm pretty sure the Hermit is literally, I get this all the time. I really need to lock in and work on my book, is literally what these cards always tell me. And it's true. I can't do anything without, And then, nurturing full potential. These cards basically go hand in hand. The Hermit and the Empress. I need to travel inward and achieve my full potential. Pretty straightforward with that. Cards 10 and 11, Dark Night of the Soul. That means 8 of Wands and the 9 of Cups. 8 of Wands is usually travel. Don't know if that means I need to move. That's obviously what it's going to be, is I need to move. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Dark Night of the Soul is related to me moving. Like, maybe I have to move suddenly. However, I don't understand how 9 of Cups could be a part of the Dark Night of the Soul, because the 9 of Cups is a relatively, positive card. It's the wish card, the fulfillment card. So I don't know. I don't know how that's a trial I have to face along the way, but maybe y'all have some insight. I don't know. Then cards 10 and 11, I got the King of Pentacles and Strength. And 12 and 13 are supposed to be heroes, the growth you've experienced, and the energy you ushered and continues to surround me as I step into my happily ever after or whatever. Strength makes sense, I guess. I feel like strength is always a good thing to have. That one's pretty straightforward. But the King of Pentacles, I don't really know. My boyfriend, he works in sales. So maybe that just means I need to, keep him around, which I was already planning on doing that. And again, strength is pretty straightforward. Inner strength and courage. I just need to be brave. However, I don't understand why my happily ever after is the 3 of Swords. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like that quarreling, misery through separation. How is that my happily ever after? So I don't know. That's the spread I got though. That is what my happily ever after spread from this book looks like. Alrighty. Okay, let's get started reading. She goes into like literally beginning of this book, she goes into a tarot shop because she wants to get career advice from a tarot reader, and comes into her and a man basically doing sex magic. Oh, this book is actually the perfect amount of spicy for this segment. So happy to announce that. Also, already liking the writing, which is a positive sign. Like, I'm already interested in what is going on. Everybody, it is the next day. I'm about 18% into this book now, and I have some thoughts. Because it very quickly, her entire life in her normal realm fell apart, as one does usually in these books. Her pitch at work failed. She went to go see her boyfriend for comfort, only to find out he was cheating on her. Classic stuff, right? And then the tarot card she got at the beginning somehow opens up a portal into a different world. And almost immediately she is with this guy named Kane, who does know what's going on, I guess. We haven't gotten very many answers yet, and it's because she keeps freaking out thinking that she's been kidnapped. And that's where my thoughts come in, right? Because it's getting slightly annoying. Like, to some degree, I understand, right? Like, you don't know for sure what's going on. Like, obviously, if you, like, hit your head when you fell outside, and then a portal opens up, swallows you, and you wake up in a different area with a man that you don't know, sure. Like, I understand the kidnapping thing and being scared of him and running away. And then she gets in a bunch more trouble. He saves her life. He takes her again somewhere else and patches up a wound that she got in her side because her phone made a bunch of people think she was a witch. And now she has woken up and is still like, he's kidnapping me. He wants me barefoot and pregnant. And I'm like, okay. At this point, why are you still on the whole kidnapping train when you know now that you fell through a magic portal and this guy kind of knows what's up? Why are you immediately jumping to wanting nothing to do with him and thinking he's still kidnapping you and wants to do bad things to you when there's been no evidence to support that? And maybe it would be realistic, you know? Maybe the average person would still think this way, but it just doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it. And maybe in this case, less realistic would be ideal. Cause I'm a little annoyed by it. But I digress. Let's continue this. Now the dialogue is approaching on cringy. Like, cause she still insists on fighting this guy on everything for some fucking reason. Like, I don't know why she keeps on trying to stand up when she was literally stabbed in the side. And I don't know where she expects to be going. Like, she keeps going, like, I need to go back to civilization. And then, like, stands and is just not able to walk because she's been stabbed in the side. And, like, he gives her tea to help with the pain or whatever. And like, obviously, like, she knows that there's, like, pain drugs in it or whatever. But then, after she, again, tries to get up and fails or whatever, and he has to help her, she goes, you know, you're not so scary, I slur, and let him lower me back to the bed. I bet you're just a big, squishy daddy bear on the inside. What? What? What did you just say? Absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. I do like his nickname for her, though, which is Fawn. That's cute, because he kept on saying, like, oh, you can barely walk like a newborn fawn, or whatever. And so now he just keeps calling her Fawn, but he calls her Fawn a little too much. Like, just the dialogue as a whole, not the best. I will say that. already these characters are still driving me crazy. Like, it hasn't gotten better because it has become so repetitive. How many times does he have to tell her, hey, you can't just walk back into the palace and go grab your stuff. That's not how this works. And she just is completely ignoring him. Is like, I'm getting dressed. I'm getting ready. I'm going back to the palace. They have to send me back. This is a mistake. Just, what about the part that, hey, you can't just walk back into the palace? Is he not understanding? And the thing that's pissing me off is she then says to him, why do I feel like you're only half listening? You're the one that's only half listening. There's a good chance that the book for this month might be another DNF. But as with the last DNF, as I promised, I will get to at least one spice scene before I DNF, so I can at least talk about the spice, because that's the whole point of this segment in the show. But my God, is this already become very difficult for me? Like, it has been 3 chapters of just this back and forth over and over and over again. So, and like, I'm about 25% in. Like, I can't. I am going crazy. I'm about to start skimming, I swear to God. another Infamous car reading update. I have so many thoughts, okay? First off, this main character, she's just stupid. She is just stupid. She keeps on putting herself into danger, and she keeps on completely ignoring the help from this guy that's done nothing but help her since she's fallen into the world. Speaking of the guy, he's got no personality. Like, I would almost say this feels like satire for romantasy books because of how little personality the guy has. Like, it's so insta-lust, kind of. Like, there's no chemistry between these two characters, and yet they keep on cracking, like, innuendos and, like, jokes, and, like, keep on, like, acting like they're drawn to each other, but any of the actual scenes that have happened so far, like, are just completely lacking any substance. Like, they have, you know, taken the identity of the ambassadors for the Kingdom of Cups, I think it is, something along those lines. And first off, so many things that should go wrong with this plan that I'm starting to doubt will go wrong. Like, you're telling me that the ambassadors for the Kingdom of Cups have never been met by the people from the Pentacle Kingdom before? Like, they don't already know what they look like? But they know enough that apparently just cutting this guy's hair and putting an eye patch on him is enough to fool them. I'm not to mention the main male character, right? His name is Kane, I think. He's banished from the castle for a reason we do not know yet. And I just, like, you're telling me that all it takes is a haircut and an eye patch and they wouldn't be able to recognize this guy that has been banned from the castle? Sure, you know what, if I'm gonna suspend my disbelief, sure, whatever. But also, the main character kept on going on and on about, oh, I'm not helpless, I can help, and you want to know how she can help? Because she's good at branding. And again, it all just led to her, oh, I can make him look like a lord, I know what nobility looks like. Well, actually, no the fuck you don't. No the fuck you don't, because listen, you are in a different kingdom. You are in a different world that is not yours. There is no way that you would be able to know what nobility is like in this world that you've never been. It doesn't matter that you watched Bridgerton and Outlander, and there was one other show that she gave as an example. It doesn't matter that you watched those shows. You are in a different dimension. You are in some sort of weird fantasy realm. For all you know, nobility is completely different from anything that you have learned from any of these shows. Like, there is no guarantee that you can make this guy look like a nobleman just because you're good at branding. Like, I think, again, because I just read Mistborn, I feel like it's a great example, right? The nobility in Mistborn have kind of, like, dedicated their fashion based off of what the Lord Ruler wore. Like, the Lord Ruler liked to wear a bunch of jewelry, so the noble people all wore a bunch of jewelry, like a bunch of rings or whatever, as like a flex, right? Because of the whole magic system being metal-based or whatever. And, like, if you weren't part of that world, you would never guess that the nobility would just, like, slather themselves in rings and jewelry and stuff. You would only wear, like, maybe the normal amount of jewelry, right? Which would make you potentially stand out. Like, it's that kind of stuff, right? Like, you don't know what the fashion is. And on top of that, the reason that this plan should fail is she knows nothing about these kingdoms. I know nothing about these kingdoms. This fantasy world is superficial at best. And like, how are you supposed to pretend to be an ambassador for a kingdom that you've never been to and you know nothing about? You don't even know anything about the Pentacle Kingdom that you're currently in. Like, the main character hasn't told you anything useful. So, but I digress. Where was I getting? Oh yeah, the lack of chemistry. There is a scene when they are dressed as the ambassadors for Cups, and they're on their way to the palace, and they, long story short, I guess, kind of make out in the carriage. It's kind of unclear. Also, I do want to say that entire scene, it says at the beginning that he is sitting across from her, but then there is some things that happen that I'm like, how, like, 'cause, like, for example, he makes it seem like he's gonna put her hand on his, his you-know-what. Instead, he puts it in the crook of his elbow, and I'm like, well, I thought you guys were staying across from each other. So, it'd be really awkward if you put her hand in the crook of your elbow, because she's, then, like, leaning over the carriage to put her, like, and, like, just putting her hand in his elbow, which doesn't make sense. But maybe that's all my bad. Maybe she did move and I forgot, I didn't register it. And then, like I said, they make out. He, like, I guess kisses her neck, and somehow from him kissing her neck, she can tell what his lips taste like. Unclear. And if that's a hint of what the spicy scenes are gonna be like, I can already tell you this is not gonna be hot. Oh, and also the kind of, like, the author's trying to go for some sort of, like, dominance thing with the male main character. And I don't know, it's just not working. And usually I like a male character that is, sexually very dominant. But in this case, it's just leaving a lot to be desired, to be honest. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. They're in the castle now, and the steward's like, oh my god, you look familiar, to, like, the MMC. He's like, oh, I can't figure out why. And then they keep going, and then eventually it just leads to, like, he's like, oh, I know why you look familiar. You and your parents visited several years ago when you were just a boy. That's why you look familiar. Because he still thinks he's Lord Ashwood, and for some reason Kane is like, no, you must be mistaken. No, bro, take it. Be like, oh yeah, that must be why, because, like, I don't know why you're arguing against it. Like, say, like, oh yeah, that must be why I look familiar. You just got a great cover story. You just got confirmation that you are who you said you are. Like, why are you fighting against it? This story, like, it's taking me so long to read this. I don't even know if this video is going to come out on time because of how long it's taking me to read this, because of how much I'm hating it. Okay, guys, I am 45% of the way into this book, and I specifically took notes because I had thoughts while I was reading at work, and I needed to organize them because I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the smut, guys. I don't know if I can do it. So I told you about their plan, how they broke into the castle. First off, Hannah, which is the main character's name. I don't even know if I said her name. I'm really bad with saying the names of the book characters, mostly because I'm really bad at remembering the names of book characters. But that's beside the point. Hannah, the main character, she, while pretending to be Lady Ashwood, gives her real name, Hannah, to the servant that asks. And it's like, or not even the servant that asks. The servant's calling her Lady Ashwood, and she's like, oh, you can call me Hannah. So... And like, nobody says anything, like, nobody, like, it doesn't get called out, and I don't know if it will. That's just how this book is going. I don't know if it will get called out, but nobody knows Lady Ashwood's actual name. Nobody knows her besides as Lady Ashwood. And look, there has been a precedent set that, presidents? Whatever, set that this world has a bunch of misogyny in it. It's a whole thing. And at some points, it makes, like, some of the things the male character says is a little bit cringe, but I think it's just informing her of how this world works, which that's a whole other issue we will get into later at the end of this video when I do the final summary or whatever. What else was there? Yeah, again, the casual misogyny. That's been real fun. Again, I think it's used to criticize misogyny, but it's not done very well at all. The main character cannot stop talking for the life of her. Like, she divulges information so easily. And there's even a time where she encounters a strange man that she doesn't know that starts giving orders to the servant or maid. Actually, she's not technically a servant. She's also a lady too, I guess. But she makes friends with her, and she ends up sticking up for her against this guy that's giving her orders that ends up being her husband. But also, first off, you don't know who that man was. He could have been the king, and if you talk back to the king, you're gonna get beheaded. Like, you can't just walk up and put the king in his place and be okay. Luckily for her, it wasn't the king. I don't know who the lord was. I already forgot the name. It was like Hedgeworth or something like that. I don't know how important this lord is, but she shouldn't be out here making enemies, right? And then also, again, with the casual misogyny too, I do want to say, I usually, like, for a lot of romantasy, a lot of people say romantasy has a bunch of misogyny in it, and I feel like, again, it's usually done as a criticism. In this case, it wasn't. I mean, it is a criticism, but it wasn't done well. And I feel like most romantasy does it pretty well, all things considered. Also, the person that she ends up befriending is the mirror version of Jade from her world. And Jade was her supervisor who gave her the chance to do her pitch for the promotion. And I guess I never got the hint that they were anything more than acquaintances, but for some reason she has this overwhelming love for the friend, and has therefore decided she wants to be friends with this person because, oh, I think I'd make great friends with a person from the real world, which, of course, ends up working out because it's a book, but it just makes me, really? And then also, there is this thing that it was like slightly hyped up about these crystal dragonflies that are all over the walls, and it's literally the entire hall was named after these crystal dragonflies. And they get to the hall, and she doesn't even pay them any attention, besides a brief description of them, and she's like, okay, I gotta find my purse. For some reason, because she's still hung up on the fact that, oh, I need to find my purse in the tarot card, even though Kane has already told her, hey, you can't just find the tarot card. Like, getting the tarot card back will not automatically send you to the world. Like, that's not how this works. And for some reason, she just completely ignores him. And is just like, no, I have to find it. No, it's not for no reason. It's because, she's like, it's a mistake. It must be a mistake that I was sent here. So I'm going to find the tarot card. It's going to send me back. Even though he just told her that's not how this fucking works. I digress, I guess. But the other issue, too, with this whole plot point is he also tells her, oh, there's also ways for you to be sent back to the exact same time that you left. So you didn't actually miss anything in the real world. So what is with the urgency? Why do you have to get the tarot card right away? Like, apparently her plan was to go off with this friend that she was trying to make, I guess, and go to the palace during the tour, or not the palace, the area where she lost her purse and the tarot card. And then she was just gonna run, like just be able to waltz into all the rooms looking for her purse and tarot card, and then just take off and leave. I don't know what she was thinking. I don't understand a majority of what she's thinking. Now, I will try to continue, but this book is wearing on my nerves, especially when I could be reading this one. Like, I want to consume this one so bad, but I must finish this video. It's already Tuesday evening. This video is not coming out on Wednesday. If all things go well, it's going to come out on Friday, I believe. Which you'll be seeing this Friday, or maybe in the future, I don't know. But we're going to try. I'm going to try to get to the spice, guys, so I can at least tell you about how bad it's probably going to be based off of the one makeout scene we kind of got. But I digress. Let's continue pushing through this. ready to go to a feast, why the fuck are they eating? Why are they eating, like, oh, these shot glass sized cakes and all these fresh fruit and these pomegranates and this hot chocolate? You're going to a feast. You're literally getting ready to go to a feast. Why would you eat before going to a feast? Like, how are you going to have room for anything? Especially a feast held by the king, where not wanting to eat might be seen as a insult of some kind. Not that she knows, because she doesn't know what any of the rules of this world is, because she didn't deem it that important, and honestly, it hasn't seemed to matter that much anyway, but I just want to, why are you eating? Why are you eating? And then, he fingers her pomegranate. That's not a euphemism. That's what he does. He takes the pomegranate that she dropped, and he is putting his fingers in it. And he goes, tell me, Fawn, is your fruit always so wet? And she goes, only when it's ripe. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. We're going to have a quick intermission from this so I can show you something with a little bit of actual spice. This is my dinner. These are 2 mini pizzas. One's cheese and one's pepperoni, and they have ranch and hot Cheetos on it. These don't look like hot Cheetos, but it's because I've been eating this isn't sponsored, unless it wants to be. But I've been eating the hot Cheetos that are called the naked hot Cheetos. They just don't have the dye or whatever in them. So they're not red, but this is going to be my dinner that I am going to read and enjoy. Maybe not while I'm reading this. All this pomegranate talk is actually putting me off of eating right now. I don't know. I can't. So she's taking a bath, getting ready for the feast, and he walks in, and she thinks it's the servant had come back already, and so she's talking just like without looking behind her, and stands up or whatever, and when she turns around and sees that it's him, she drops the pomegranate she was eating in the tub, and she goes, fuck, and he goes, is that a request? And then she's like, I dropped my pomegranate, and he's like, you've got 2, what was the exact line? Hold on, let me go back. He goes, you seem to have 2 very perky, luscious pomegranates right there. Are supposed to be cleansing, he says, tracing the dip of my collarbone. But, my dear little fawn, you seem to have only gotten dirtier. What? It's starting to get dark, so I had to turn on the light. But, so we finally get a little bit of spice, when the maid comes back, interrupts in their bath time or whatever, he basically forces which makes this a little bit awkward, to be honest, but he has the maid dress her in the bedroom in front of him, and giving her, like, commandments, like, oh, she's not gonna wear undergarments, oh, she, or whatever, like, so she's gonna do her gown now, no, I don't even know how to say it, chimes? I don't even know what that is. Like, I know what it is, what piece of fabric it is, and a dress setup. I don't know how to say it. Beside the point. Doesn't matter. But honestly, the whole her getting dressed in front of him, all the issues I have with this book considered, was kind of hot. I did kind of like that. Like, but I feel bad for the attendant. That feels super fucking awkward for the attendant to have to be there in the middle of them doing this. Like, that's insane. I don't know. This poor girl probably has a story she could tell the rest of the castle now. But yeah, so at least there was an upside to all of this. We will see where it continues to go, I guess. Oh, I also forgot to say, there was this whole scene earlier where it was so important about the necklace that she picks out and how, oh, you gotta make a statement that the queen herself would approve of and all of this, right? All this, like, strong woman talk. And then when this scene happens and then she's getting dressed, Kane tells the attendant, no jewels, don't put any jewelry on her. And she just accepts it and, like, doesn't even think twice about the fact that she's not wearing the necklace that her and her friend specifically bonded over. I have a problem with that. I have a huge problem with that. It took me right out of the scene. I was like, what the fuck do you mean you're not gonna have her put on the necklace that she just bonded with this other woman over? And, like, she didn't say anything. Like, I get he was having his dominant moment, but if you put your foot down, he would have listened, because it's, you know, the right kind of dominant, right? So, but she didn't put her foot down. She didn't even think about it. So I'm sad about that. I also forgot to add, and I'm not using the light for this, you're just gonna have to deal with it being dark. I forgot to add, too, another kind of thing, even though, again, liked the dominance, when she had the maid doing the corset, he wanted it tighter than the maid wanted to do, and then that's when she does step in, and she's like, listen to him. But I'm like, girl, a really tight corset is really bad for you. Like, and you're going to a feast. Why do you want to wear a super tight corset to a feast? And already, like, next chapter starting, she's already, like, she struggles to breathe. Like, she has to have short breaths. Like, that's too much. That's too tight. If her fainting because her corset is too tight is part of this, and it's used as a romantic moment because he, like, catches her or whatever, he put her in that situation to begin with. So, Alright, you guys. I finally got to, the first spicy scene, and the last spicy scene I'm gonna read, because I'm DNFing it now. Thank God. So, it actually wasn't that much longer after the scene I was just talking about, right? Like, they go to their party, and for some reason, Kane, as soon as 4 steps up, decides he wants to speak out and talk directly to the king and starts all sort of trouble. And, of course, for whatever reason, his sworn enemy doesn't immediately recognize him, but is like, oh, he looks familiar. His anger getting the better of him was so annoying, because, again, you guys are supposed to be discreet. But whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. And yeah, unfortunately, there wasn't much to say about the spicy scene, actually. Like, the only thing that was even remotely different than your average run-of-the-mill, like, spicy scene is she got little, like, handcuffs made out of silk laces, and that's about it. But besides that, it was incredibly mediocre. And again, like, the one scene with her getting dressed in front of him was probably the best scene of the entire book. And again, maybe this second half was full of gems. I don't know. For me, it wasn't worth it. Which is exactly why we're going to get into my final thoughts. We're going to go into this wrap up here, now that I'm officially DNFing this. So, hey. So, where do I even want to start? let's start with the world itself. The world itself, very surface level. Like, it was very run-of-the-mill, standard, medieval realm. You do hear about magic, but the magic is very loose. Like, I don't specifically understand how the magic works. And again, that one I will chalk up to, I'm DNFing the book, maybe the magic is explained better as you go on into the story, though being over the 50% mark, I feel like I should have some sort of grasp to what the story looks like, and I don't. Or not what the magic looks like, and I don't. Oh my god, my cat is, give me a second. This is just my troublemaker. Yes, he is. Anyway, so yeah, world building, I will say, maybe it does get better. Character development, I guess there was the chance for it to improve, but for the most part, it seemed kind of, the characters were also very flat. The world was very flat. It had so much potential. It had so much unique things to offer, and it just didn't go all the way through with that offering. Like, it fell short, I think is the term I'm looking for. Hannah, the main character, overall was annoying. She thrusted herself into danger despite the advice of people that actually knew the world. It doesn't make sense that she was able to get away with as much as she did, to be honest. It was a little bit, I don't want to say unbelievable, because it's fantasy. It doesn't always have to be believable, but it does have to be endearing, and this was not endearing. Like, you don't know anything about this world, and yet you are, like, making choices for yourself that you wouldn't be able to back up. Like, again, you don't know what the nobility is like. You know nothing about the kingdoms. You've never even been to the Kingdom of Cups, and yet you're going to successfully impersonate the Lady of Cups or whatever. Like, I doubt. It shouldn't have worked. And I'm probably of the cusp of it not working, because it's very obvious they aren't the fucking ambassadors of the People of Cups. And if anything, they're just gonna make it seem like they're the ones that killed them, I'm willing to bet. Because it's not that far of a stretch. And borderline war breaking out or whatever. I don't know. It was just lacking, which makes me incredibly sad, because I'm sure you saw at the beginning of the video, I was excited to try this story out, and it just ended up, I don't know, I'm really glad I didn't spend money on this series. Kane, let's move on to him. Again, his personality is very minimal. Like, you started to see it a little bit more near the halfway point, but again, until that point, he was just blindly loyal to Hannah for no reason that I could distinguish. Maybe he was using her for, like, to get access into the castle or whatever. That's neither here nor there. We got very little information about him, honestly, for being halfway through the book, and I found a lot of their... Is foreplay the right word? I found a lot of it very cringy. The dialogue was just bad in so many places. Like, I would have thought this was satire if it wasn't for what the rest of the backlog looks like for this author. Like, I didn't even realize this author was part of the duo that was writing the House of Night series. I had read some of those books when I was a kid. And I liked that series from what I remember, but I'm obviously not going to retouch it as an adult, because I've also heard a lot of people dislike it, and I probably won't like it as an adult, to be frank. Because there's also lots of series that I loved as a teenager that I reread as an adult and hated. So, I don't need to add another one. So I guess we have another book to put under the did not like roster of Exploring Smut. I have to just say, halfway through the year, having only 2 books that really fall under that roster that I DNF'd, I say is a pretty solid start. Like, most of these stories, while they're not always the best written, at least they're fun, you know? And it's the ones that I'm not having fun with are the ones that I end up DNFing. Like this one, like Your Knife, My Heart. There's just the element that makes them fun was lacking. And I don't know if it's a writing thing, because some of the other ones, like Meat, the writing wasn't the best in that one either, but I ended up quite enjoying it. Maybe it was like the creativity, because like this story, while the premise was creative, the actual execution was not. So, I don't know. But yeah, that's the end of exploring smut for June. Again, I gotta say, not a recommendation for this one. The cover was really pretty. You know, I gotta hand it to him. The art, stunning, but that was probably the best part of the book. And I don't know, maybe if you're really curious, you can try it for yourself. Maybe you'll get farther. Maybe there's a bunch of good information in the second half of the book that I'm completely missing because I'm DNFing. That's always the risk when you DNF, that the second half of the book ends up being good. It's definitely happened to me before where I end up liking the second half of the book better than the first. But at this point, I have so much other things I'd rather be reading that it's like pulling teeth. So, and I would officially rating this book not hot. Again, some of the foreplay had potential. I thought for a second, you know what, maybe the spice really does pull this book along, and unfortunately, it did not, even though it had the potential. Maybe the other books in the series get better too. There's always that possibility, but it's not a possibility we're going to be exploring here. I digress. Next month, we'll be doing a werewolf book. That's going to be fun. I realize I haven't done one of those yet here, so I'm hoping for a fun time with this next one. I love to get into like a werewolf mates kind of situation, but we'll see. Remember to like and share this video. Subscribe if you want to see more, if you want to keep caught up with this series. Again, I try to post Exploring Smut once a month. I post other bookish content. Follow to your heart's content. I don't know. And I'll always link my other stuff in my bio or in the description, I guess, in this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Love ya. Bye.